Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino, and today I have a special guest. Her name is Vira. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good,
How about
good.
you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Before we get started, let me give our listeners a little bit of your background, and then we can dive in. So you are a mindset coach that inspires to help people to grow their self-confidence. From a younger age, she loved to study the psychology of people and their behavior. She realized that people's behavior is habitual, and to change anything for the better is important to understand ourselves in a profound level. It has nothing to do with knowledge, but the inner capacities that each of us possess all starts from within and a simple decision, such as, yes, I am ready.
Exactly.
Awesome. So tell me more about you. Tell me about your upbringing. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Ukraine, but in a certain stage of my life, when I was actually finished my school and high school, I decided to discover more life. And at that period of time, it's 20 years ago in Ukraine, it was difficult period of time. And so I didn't feel like I was in the right place. So I decided just to move forward with life and go to another country. And I just made a decision. I simply made a decision. I didn't have even enough money. I didn't have friends or anybody. I just made a decision. I need to move forward. And this is how my life completely changed. And I was just only 23. But at that time, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just feeling I know everything. At that age, I felt I knew everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was completely, like filled with that energy. I can do anything. And I'm really glad that I did it because it was really, I can learn from myself, from my previous me, from my life further, and now teach others about that, how actually the power of decision making is so simple at the same time really strong.
Yeah, and talking about that, a lot of times I believe that the decisions and the choices that we make today will determine the quality of life that we have tomorrow. Except sometimes we get hung up on making that decision, right? And oftentimes, I think it's not so much the fear of making the decision, is the fear of the consequences or what's gonna come after the decision, right? I think the decision part of it is pretty simple. You can either do it or not do it. Is unconsciously we're thinking about, well, if I do this or I make this decision, what's going to happen after the fact? What am I going to have to face? And I think that's the fear of many people, right?
Yeah. But also the thing is what I probably think would like to add is that people don't understand the how to make a decision. Decision making requires some time. And sometimes people think, oh, I can do it. Sometimes people make too fast decisions and then regret most of the time because they didn't spend time to think about it. But sometimes it's just not knowing how to make the decision. You just have to think about it really clearly and not asking for advice everywhere because most of people cannot really give an advice. It's only you. You know yourself. You know you have been through many things and you have to base everything on yourself, on your thinking, on your examples. And that is actually something important and not taught at school. They don't teach us at school to make decisions, but it's so essential and important in daily routine. And also what you told that be afraid the consequences after that. It's
Mm-hmm.
true. It's how we actually create our life. Make a decision and then, oh, my life is a mess. Ooh. Then you go back to your decisions that you made before. And then, yes, everything starts to become clear and clear. And another thing that also I think it's important to mention is that decision making also is connected to responsibilities. It's
Mm.
what people don't really understand, and maybe also understand and afraid of.
Yeah.
Responsibility. Every time when you make a decision, there is always a responsibility attached. It's like you have a house, you're renting a house. What is your responsibility? You think, okay, I will have a bigger house and then it's good. But your responsibility is to take care of that house. You have to pay for it. You have to take care of many, many things. It's such a long, long, long list. And this is why people think, I cannot do that and I'm not going to do it. It's too
Yeah.
much for me. Or the opposite, I can do it, but not thinking what is all that responsibility behind. The same is regarding kids or relationships or anything, responsibility taking. That is what actually people afraid of and don't understand. And eventually when they do it, with just starting little bit, just a little bit, little responsibility, and you start to feel different and life can be completely different.
Yeah, yeah, along that side too, not making a decision is a decision of not making a decision, right? And a lot of times people don't see that. I think one of the biggest things I know for me in my journey too, when I was younger too, I thought I knew everything. I thought I had everything, and sometimes I wouldn't really think about what I was, deciding on, and I was just taking the actions. And if I had, if I can go back, I would probably do things differently. Yet again, what I went through has shaped me to be the person that I am today. So definitely, I have no regrets with that. Nevertheless, though, I guess the message, more than anything, and I want to get your input on that too, is that. One, you definitely want to think about the decisions you're making. You want to take a little bit of time to ponder on that, yet don't ponder on that too long, because again, not making a decision is a decision. The second
Yeah.
thing is, even if you make a decision and for whatever reason it turned out to be way different than you expected, then you got to be able to go back and pivot, not leave in the past, not hold on to that, just pivot and say, okay, well, it maybe wasn't the right decision, or something happened. Let me pivot and do a different decision and start from that point forward.
Exactly. Yes, it's definitely great. But every time you make a decision, it's maybe not the best thing, but you always can think, what did I learn from that? Always
Mm,
think like, what did I learn from that? And that is so powerful because when you think, okay, I'm grateful, I'm here, I did something, yippee, what did I learn from that? And next time, your decision making will be a little bit better. And every time you make it, it's better and better. And this is how you become more responsible. You start to realize, oh, I'm kind of like bigger, I'm kind of smarter, I'm kind of more of me. And that is so great to think about this. And also what you also mentioned, not making decision, it's really bad situation because you anyway are thinking, I would like to do this, but I am not ready to move forward. I am not going. You are living in that kind of energy confusion, like your body wants to move and you're like, I'm not sure, I'm afraid. And that is really bad state of mind and physical, because that eventually you get, this is how you get depression, this is how you get any kind of illness. It's here or there. It's because of all kind of not making of decision. Your mind wants to move forward. It's what mind wants. Your body also almost, but when you think, not today, maybe tomorrow, then it's like confusion happens. And then of course you have headaches and all kind of illnesses, which grows to bigger and worse and worse. So this is also what I wanted to add about this
yeah.
lady.
One thing that you talked about, I have here in my notes, you said that when fear strikes, you realize that you were the one causing and you learn to control your fears. Tell me more about that, because actually that's a good point. I never saw it that way. At the end of the day, as you mentioned, not making a decision, all these different things, we are creating that environment, and that fear. You probably, as you mentioned, you're the one creating that based on what you're telling yourself, the things that are going through your head, whatever that might be, right?
Yeah, yes, it's actually very simple because in life you can focus only on one thing. It's or only positive or negative. Fear, it's something negative. So it's like always plan B. If it's not happening, then think what can happen? All the wars and all fears, all kind of stories you start to think about. And the more you think about, the more it comes. But the thing is about fear that actually fear it's something what you don't understand because you're going into something that you have no idea what that is. And when you start to realize, okay, where am I going, what do I need to get there, so you actually have to study, look for information.
Mm,
When you eventually gather information which is necessary to go somewhere where you want to go, in many cases it's a health, it's a business, it's a project, all kind of stuff, then you start to feel like, oh, okay, I was so afraid about this, but now I got it. Oh, I even don't think about this. And now you're focused on the solution.
mm,
And the more you're focused on the solution, it's again fear. But what do you do about it? So why am I afraid? So it's like you get a letter from the police, and there is something. You go, oh, I have not done anything. Oh my God! I will stay at home. I will shake and I will be afraid, and that's it. I cannot. Instead of you can pick up a phone and say, "What's going on? I know that I haven't done nothing wrong." They say, "Oh, it's a mistake. Sorry, it's a wrong letter." And then it's like, you just go and look for a solution. And when you don't think about fear, you just look for the solution, it goes away. So it's up to you to decide, what do you want to do about this? I'm going to do something about this. It's like moving forward. And then you start to feel like, whew, I love it. I'm actually
mm.
great.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point, and it reminds me of something. Imagine you're driving down and you see a police car and they put on the sirens, right? And right away, your heart starts beating hard, thinking they're gonna pull you over, to just realize that it wasn't even for you; it was for somebody else, and they just won't go past you. And again,
Exactly.
we create, as you mentioned, we create this fear, this unknown. We tend to jump into some sort of conclusions without even realizing. And so in that case, it's like it wasn't even for me, and I was panicking because I thought that I did something wrong. You're already going to the assumption, or that fear.
Yeah.
And so definitely not taking that from that perspective, like being more positive or having that abundant life or being more certain to an extent, can definitely help you with that. The other thing you mentioned, which is actually I really enjoy, is when you're trying to go to something that is unknown, instead of being fearful, gather all the available data, whatever that might be. Not all of it, because you're never going to be able to find all of it. Just gather enough information that
It's
can help
always
you.
it's always step by step.
Yeah, right.
Next step, what can I do? So that
Yeah,
kind of information. And then you feel like, can you move forward with that or not? Then you take again, okay, do I need more information? Or do I need to hire someone? Do I need to go somewhere? Because when you sit at home and pray to God, nothing is going to happen, right? But
right.
when you go somewhere, you always discover something.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about, so you're in your early 20s and talking about the decision of, I'm going to move. I have no money. I have no friends. I have none of that. I'm going to make that move. I mean, that's something that is not an easy decision to make. It's not an easy thing to do. What what happened to you in the sense of, what was that turning point, or what was it that was pushing you to make the decisions? Because sometimes we make decisions based on desperation or out of fear, right? And so what was it for you?
Well, for me, it was kind of like it was maybe a fear to get stuck in the place where I'm not happy,
Mm,
something like this. But at the same time, I knew it was like calling me, something was calling me, you can do it, you have so much to offer. And I had so much energy and knowledge, especially I had a lot of knowledge that I wanted to take action upon, and I didn't see any possibility. And so it's like pushing you out by itself, or something is calling you. And I was really excited and inspired. I didn't feel that I didn't have money because I was thinking, okay, so what worse will happen? You don't lose anything, you have nothing to lose. So I was like, I have enough of knowledge, speak different kind of languages, I'm communicative, and I can do it. And actually I was really right. It was that kind of like that energy. I want to grow, I want to move on, I want to take an action. That was actually making me to move
mm.
forward.
Yeah.
And so now, after that period of time when I settled down and created my life, then I went through different kind of stages of life, and I became back again kind of like tired, quiet, unhappy. And when I again realized I'm in a wrong place and I've been there maybe 15 years, choosing wrong people around myself, I started to realize, oh my God, but before I was so excited and energetic and so this and that. Where is that woman? Then 3 years ago, I again went back to the thinking and realizing I need to study. I didn't study enough that period of time, and I need to study the information that will move me forward again and call me. Do you remember 20 years ago when you wanted more and you settled down for just you can do more? And I realized, and that is again something what pushed me to move forward, to do more. Even now I'm 43, I feel like I am just again, in a new stage of life, of creating, of many things that I have no idea about.
Yeah, and with that, and you were talking about this earlier, is a profound level. You got to go inside of you and kind of find that and find yourself. And it seems like that's what you ended up doing, is going back to, like, I used to be that person, and there's a lot of things that I like about that person. I got to bring that back out into
Yeah.
existence. And how did I go about doing that? So tell me, what have been some of the things that you've done in the last couple of years to kind of help you, really in that self-development, or really just taking care of yourself in a different level, right? I believe that there's a lot of things that we do as people. We have different habits, different things that can help us shape who we are now. What are some of the things that you are doing specifically?
Well, what I'm doing actually changing myself into so actually when I realized that I lost my confidence, you get married, you go into a relationship, you get kids, what happened to me? And I felt that I lost it. I kind of like lost myself in everything, and I was no longer like confident. I was kind of like a kind woman because I believe that it should happen like this. But it's kind of like I was not making decision. I was kind of like not feeling that I was standing on the ground. And so eventually I started to think I'm 40 and I want to still see so much more. There is so much to see. Technology, all stuff is going on, and I just have not seen yet enough. And I realized I have to change myself back into that who I was. I was really confident. And not because I didn't have money or friends or connection, but I had knowledge. That knowledge kept me always really confident. And because through the relationship and kids, I lost it. I didn't have time for studying. It's a normal family life. I started to realize, oh, this is why. So I started to study. I started to take programs to understand who I was. And who was I? I was knowledgeable, I was calm, I was self-confident, I was a joker, I was energetic, I was healthy, beautiful, and all kind of stuff. And it's everybody is just like that. And nobody has to do if you are. Nobody has to tell you that you are. You have to think about that. Those moments, look for those moments that you were the strongest, and think, I can do it again, and keep it for a very long period of time. And I can be after 40, but I have knowledge now, so I'm more stronger than I was 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And I can become again beautiful and healthy and energetic and knowledgeable and inspiring and everything what I want to be. You just tell it to yourself and start to focus. What do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? Make the decision. Yes, I'm going to do anything requires to go there. And it will not take a long time. It can take 1 or 2 years, and you're a new person in a new direction. You just have to realize I can do it.
Yeah, well, that's definitely powerful, in that sense. Tell me about, so you have a book called Younger Living. Tell me
Yes.
more about that book and how did that idea come about writing the book. I myself have 9 books, and so it's always interesting to kind of go over that. And it's not an easy thing to do. Yet putting something on paper and the purpose behind it, I think there's a lot of lessons with that. What was it for you, and what's the book about?
Well, that is actually something also a different part of myself, which I found really interesting and important to write. It's a very little one, actually, a pocket book,
Hmm.
Younger Living. It's about a vegan lifestyle. It's something which I thought is important to write about because there are the keynotes of understanding the importance of food on our physical appearance.
Hmm.
For me, it was important because after some period of time being in a relationship and kids, I felt like my energy was completely like I was very old woman and was didn't feel like myself. I was completely, I had no energy to do what I was supposed to. I was doing it, but like every time I was so tired. And I was looking for all kind of help and inspiration ideas. And it was in 2013 to do something about myself. I even went to the doctors where they shared that I'm completely healthy when I complained that I have headaches, I don't feel great, and my intestines. I was completely lost. I lost myself. So I thought, okay, I will fix it myself. I said I usually did for many times. And so it's again, it's kind of like decision making. Okay, if you don't help me, I went here, I went there, I will fix it myself. So the literature started to appear in front of me, sharing like vegan lifestyle, this is kind of style. And I started to realize, okay, maybe I will try that. So I started to try doing that, like different kind of diets with choosing this kind of food, like more veggies, and then
Hmm.
no cheese, no eggs, and even more veggies. And then I started to feel lighter and energetic and better. I remember that my concentration, my focus was so much better. I could clearly think, and I thought, oh my God, it's such a powerful process. So eventually, everything what I have been through, I put it together in this little book about vegan lifestyle. If you think, okay, I want to change something really, and you're ready to do a lot for that, it's important to do something about that. And this is all about that what kind of energy is that you put inside when you're eating all kind of vegetables, and what kind of energy is going inside of you when you eat meat. So meat, it's something, yeah, it's something what people really like, but it's also kind of programming. And it was always heavy for me. It was influencing very heavy for me. And so I realized that more energy you will gain from that natural grown in the sunlight and then fresh air. And when I used that, it was influencing me really well. My intuition started to be boosted. I could take different kind of decisions that I couldn't done before. Many things started to happen for me very fast when I just took upon that diet. And I found it so important to share this, so people, even these days, what people have been through, people must have been thinking, what can I do now, at least something little. And for myself, I became a vegan, for example. I started to wake up at 5 a.m. I started to be more what I say that I do. I give myself command, I'm doing it. Always like completely serious decision maker, responsible for each word that I'm saying, responsible, because I know the power and meaning of it. So altogether is actually in that book, but related to uplift yourself on energy level for your physical wellness, and eventually, yeah, to change your health, change your conscious thinking, change your how you actually focused on a daily activities.
Hmm. I really like this topic of the idea of making a decision, or just being very strong about whatever decision you're making, because when you really think about it, in reality, just a decision that you make today can really shape who you're going to be tomorrow. You can be a total different person tomorrow by those decisions, by saying, I'm not going to smoke anymore, I'm not going to be drinking anymore, I'm not going to be hanging around with the people that are not serving me. And sometimes though, those attachments, whether it's an addiction or whether our people can also be an addiction to us. Those little things though can really shape you in many different aspects. And when you take that decision and you said, I am gonna do this, and I'm gonna be very firm on my decision, you can really change your life overnight. And so it might not be, you're not gonna get $1 million overnight, except you're getting closer to that because you're working towards a goal. You're working towards something bigger and greater. So I really, really enjoyed this topic of decision making.
But I also would like to add to this decision making. Decision making can be also asking for help. If you're
Mm,
addicted to something, it's really difficult to get off addiction. It's just really difficult. I've been also addicted to coffee, or
yeah.
kind of things, chocolate, stuff like that, and it influences sometimes really like, oh my god, I have to stop it. So I can imagine for some people it's even worse, like the lifestyle or all kind of things, or alcohol. Decision making starts also with asking for help. You put your feet on the ground and you move and you ask for help and you pray. You just pray that you would get someone who would be able to just give all of energy and help you. This is decision making. Because I know by myself, when I'm talking about asking for help, many people don't like to ask for help,
Right.
or don't dare, or they have that kind of habit. It's also for those kind of people really difficult. They can be really addicted to something and feeling like, I can do it by myself. I'm too proud of, that pride. And I changed it for myself also like a year ago, that I started to ask for help, and it was so much more fun. I connected with people more and realized it's actually really nice to ask for help. You're not begging for anything. It's more you're connecting with people, and you are connecting with people. We are all interconnected. The help will come from many ways that you even had no idea about.
Yeah, no, definitely love that. If people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
Okay, you can find me definitely on my Facebook with my name, Vira Buchkovska, or my website, virabuchkovska.com, or my Instagram. It's recently changed to a little bit different name, but I have to go back with this name, but it's Younger Living. It's
Mhm.
differently written, but anyway, I'm findable on Instagram also. So
Okay.
you go to Facebook. I think most of people have Facebook, and from there we can start. If you need any kind of help, I will definitely see the possibilities I have. I can also direct you to someone else. Maybe I am not able to help enough. I'm well connected with many people all over the world. So there is enough help or inspiration that I just capable provide. You just need to ask for help. You just need
Yeah.
to say, hi, I'm there, I need something.
Awesome, awesome. There's three things here you talk about that you kind of want a message for the listeners, and I want you to elaborate more on those three things because I think they're pretty interesting. And if anybody's going through anything, you say take a piece of paper and ask yourself, what do I really want? Can I do it? And take action without hesitation. Give me a little bit about all those three different actions because I think they're pretty important. And how would you apply those three different things?
That is actually one thing. What do
Okay.
I want? So what do I want? I want, for example, a new job, or let's say a new job. Yes. So, okay, I want a new job. Yeah, I really, really, really want. Or maybe I don't have a job. I just want a job. So you just, okay, you decide, okay, and am I capable to get a new job? Yeah, why not? I'm not like, I have two hands, my head is kind of on its place, my body kind of in action, so it's possible, right? You just need to say to yourself, am I ready to do it as soon as possible, or it's now? Go out of the door and look for the possibilities and take action. When you make the decision that I want this and I can do it, then you actually move into the different level of thinking. You're a
Mm,
different person at that moment. At that moment, and then you have an idea. Okay, I maybe should go outside. There is neighbor was talking about something. I should ask him again. And then you go do it, and from there it can flow and flow. That you eventually, very fast, can get something what you really want. You just need to do it really fast, because at that moment when you make a decision, you're a different person, you're a different mindset, and then you actually start to stay there when you feel I'm taking those steps, because actually all kind of energy is helping you all around us, and
Mhm.
then you are going there, and it's with everything. And something bigger takes maybe a little bit longer, but it's a matter of practicing and understanding it and seeing, okay, I can do it with this little one, then I can do more with bigger, and this is how it grows.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. Definitely raising those standards too, right? I mean, definitely raising the vibration and all of that will definitely help you get the things that you definitely want. Um, do you have any specific habits you do on a day-to-day basis to kind of keep you up and running?
Well, sure. I learned to wake up early in the morning, which is 5 a.m. in the morning. And because I noticed that I feel different, again, I made a decision. I feel different. I'm a different person. I'm lighter. My day flows with ease. So I decided this is important for me. I also feel healthier. I feel like there is more energy in me. And it's not like I have to run around because I have that much of energy, just more with the flow, like with the flow. It's so nice. And of course, go on time to bed. This is, you cannot wake up for a long period of time getting too late in bed. It's just not working.
What time do you normally go to bed if you wake up at 5?
It's between 9 and 10.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I can go immediately, fall in sleep around 9, 9:15, and sometimes a little bit in between. But usually it's a lot around 9:30. And it's actually, think about this. Maybe some people will think, oh, I will not meet my friends, I will not do this and that. But you are investing in your life, in your health, in your mind, in your longer and younger living.
Yeah.
This is just how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely love that. Vera, I had such a great conversation with you. I love the topic. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to share with the audience?
Well, I can say that everything what you want, you can do it. It's possible. Everything what you see people around flying with those jets and all that, this is how they did it. Everything what we share today, this is how they did it. You
Mm,
can do it too. Everybody, I can do it. I am going there. I am growing. You are growing. And everybody who is listening will probably grow from our conversation. But you
yeah.
have to take action and look for, something that will help you to go there. You cannot just sit and listen and pray. There
Yeah.
is no power in it. You have to do something about it.
Right. You got to take action. I love that. You definitely got to take action. Make those decisions. So,
Exactly.
well, Vera, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you.
And for the rest of you guys, do me a favor. Please make sure you connect with Vera. Check her out. Check out her book. Check her out on social media. And do me a favor. Share this message because somebody definitely needs to hear this. I will see you guys at the next episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you've tuned into this podcast. You can find me at your favorite podcast platform where you can like, subscribe, comment, and share. And to learn more about myself, my services, you can find me at www.cesarrespino.com, or you can also find me at your social media. Thanks for joining me, and I am looking forward to having you at the next episode. And know you truly can overcome anything.